Hi, my name is Michael.G and have another video for you. Um, so now after the abomination that maketh desolate, and we understand that very clearly now, it brings up a question about what have the churches been talking about. So the organized body, the church, has been giving out the testimony of devils. Now, how does that work? Well, let's say you're talking to somebody, okay? You're going to talk to somebody, and you're going to talk to this person about Jesus, okay? When you're talking to this person about Jesus, the priest of God, you're supposed to be the Elohim. And Elohim is the family name of God. When you give the testimony that Jesus is King of the Jews, you are giving a polluted offering. Does that make any sense to you? Because you are not giving the truth. Jesus is the King of Israel, not King of the Jews. The Jews wanted to tie themselves into Jesus, and by doing that now, you could make this person a priest, and he could be on a pulpit in a church, and his testimony is polluted offering. You want to see this? All you have to do is just YouTube the words Jesus Christ, King of the Jews, and all the videos will pop up, and every video will pop up all the time saying about King of the Jews. Now we know that in John 9, we haven't read this yet, but in John there was a blind man from birth. And then he met with Jesus, and then he could see. The Pharisees didn't understand how he was able to see with that. So Jesus said to them that the blind will see, and the ones that see will be blinded. Because you see, the Pharisees said that they did see. And for them to say that they see, they have to crucify Jesus. Actually, again, they show the cross like this. Like I said, this is how more the cross would look like. The right hand to the heavens, left hand down. So for these Pharisees that say they see, they have to discount what Jesus said, just like they discounted what the blind man's testimony was. So, what does it mean when you're talking to this person? Who is this person? In my other video, I had talked about that Jesus said that you didn't offer me water or anything. This person who's not told the truth about Jesus has been offered polluted bread. This person is Elohim. Elohim is God in the family. So when you're giving a testimony that's a lie or a half-truth or something, you're giving now the serpent's testimony to God. Because this Son of God has been imprisoned in the body. This is what the church is doing. And it's really almost poetic that this is so accurate, because all of Malachi is just talking about that. Once you understand this, Malachi makes so much more sense. The burden of the word of Yahweh unto Israel, not Yahweh. Yahweh, and it's recorded also as Jehovah, but Yahweh is the more accurate. The burden of a word, what word? The word truth, maybe? Of Yahweh unto Israel by the hand of Malachi. I have loved you, said Yahweh, and ye have said, in what hast thou loved us? Is not Esau Jacob's brother? Now keep in mind, for that testimony by these priests, that's the Esau testimony, an affirmation of Yahweh. And I love Jacob, and Esau I have hated. So this is the distinction of one God loves, and the other one is hated. And I make his mountains a desolation. And now look, remember when I was drawing the pyramid before in my older videos? Similar, his mountains, what he holds as important, a desolation, and his inheritance for dragons of a wilderness. So again, those on the left hand of God, the left hand of Jesus, are going to be in the wilderness. Because Edom saith, now this is Edom now, Edom is the left hand, we have been made poor, and we turn back and we build the wastes. Thus said Yahweh of hosts, they do build and I do destroy, and have called to them, O region of wickedness, O people whom Yahweh defied to the age. Now keep in mind, we spoke about this in Jeremiah when we looked up the word, looked up the word, what is it called? When we looked up, they were a byword. So if you want to look up that word byword, curse, it actually talks about what's going on here. Defied to the age, and your eyes do see, and ye say, magnified is Yahweh beyond the border of Israel. A son honoreth a father, and a servant his master. And if I, a father, where is mine honor? Now remember, if you're honoring God the Father in light, then you have to be in light. And if I, a father, where mine honor? And if I, a master, where my fear? Said Yahweh of hosts to you. O priests, despising my name. And ye have said, in what have we despised thy name? Ye are bringing nigh unto mine altar polluted bread. And ye have said, in what have we polluted thee? In your saying, the table of Yahweh, it despicable. You got to remember, when you're telling someone that Jesus is king of the Jews and king of the devils, what you're saying now is you're cursing God's Israel. That's what you're doing. It's like polluting the bread. It's polluting the bread of life. Okay? The table of Yahweh, it is despicable. And when ye bring nigh the blind for sacrifice, these people are blind. They're talking today, the churches are blind. That's why Jesus came, as Isaiah said, to give light, and those in darkness, I forgot the verse, but this is the one that's in Isaiah, and he speaks about, I think, Luke in the temple. For sacrifice there is no evil, and when ye bring nigh the lame and sick, there is no evil. Bring it near, I pray thee, to thy governor. Doth he accept thee, or doth he lift up thy face? Said Yahweh of hosts. And now appease, I pray thee, the face of God, and he doth favor us. From your own hand hath this been. Doth he accept of you appearances? So you see, the appearance of holiness, all these churches as well, not only are they telling everybody, oh, Jesus is the king of the Jews and Jesus is a Jew, but they want to look good doing it, and the appearance that they're doing something holy. And meanwhile, they're giving the doctrine of devils. Said Yahweh of hosts, who even among you, and he shutteth the two leaven doors, leave doors, yea, ye do not kindle mine altar for naught. I have no pleasure in you, said Yahweh of hosts, and a present I do not accept of your hand. For from the rising of the sun, here we go, light again, to the going in, great my name among nations. I am Yahweh, the light. You can't hide the light. They tried to hide the light by saying Jesus is King of Jews. That's why the Jews wanted Pilate to rewrite what he said about Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews, that this one saith that he's King of the Jews, so that they can bring in the devil into the kingdom. Great my name among nations, and in every place perfume is brought nigh to my name, and pure present. For great is my name among nations, said Yahweh of hosts. And keep in mind too, the Bible, they only have the four letters for all these years, and instead of saying Yahweh, they took out the vowels, and this was done to hide again God. And the same thing when Adam and Eve sinned, what did they cover? The reproductive parts of the body with the fig leaves. They put on girdles. And ye are polluting it in your saying, the table of Yahweh, it is polluted. As to its fruit, despicable is its food. And ye have said, lo, what a weariness, and ye have puffed at it, said Yahweh of hosts. And ye have brought in plunder, and the lame and the sick, and ye have brought in the present. Do I accept from your hand, said Yahweh, and cursed a deceiver who hath in his drove a male, and is vowing and sacrificing a marred thing to the Lord. See, the sacrifice that you're bringing is you're bringing the devil as the sacrifice by saying Jesus is the king of the devils. This is insane, and it's so accurate. Lord, for great is the king. I said Yahweh of hosts, and my name revered among nations. And now here comes. Now to you this charge, O priests, if ye hearken not, and if ye lay not to heart, to give honor to my name, said Yahweh of hosts, I have sent against you the curse, and I have cursed your blessings. Yea, I have also cursed it, because ye are not laying it to heart. Lo, I'm pushing away before you the seed, and have scattered dung before your faces, dung of your festivals, and it hath taken you away with it. You know where this dung comes from? This dung is the body of Jezebel that the dogs ate. And then after they ate the body of Jezebel, not her palms and hands, not her hands, feet, and head, and then the dogs, after they ate, they put dung on the land. This is the dung that God is putting on their faces. Dung of your festivals, and it hath taken you away with it. And ye have known that I have sent unto you this charge, for my covenant being with Levi, said Yahweh of hosts. Elizabeth, who brought forth John the Baptist, is cousin to Mary. That makes Jesus born Levite. My covenant hath been with him for life, and for peace. With him. Him. Notice that? Been with him. Not Levi the tribe, not Levi the descendants, but him of life and peace. And I make them to fear him of fear, and he doth fear me. And because of my name he hath been affrighted. The law of truth hath been in his mouth. The law of truth, and perverseness hath not been found in his lips. In peace and in uprightness he walked with me. And the Lord, remember, John and the word was with God in John 1. And many he brought back from iniquity, for the lips of a priest preserve knowledge, and law they do seek from his mouth. For a messenger of Yahweh of hosts he. And ye have turned from the way. Ye have caused many to stumble in the law. Ye have corrupted the covenant of Levi, said Yahweh of hosts. And I also, I have made you despised and low before all the people, because ye are not keeping my ways, and are accepting persons in the law. Have we not all one Father? Hath not God prepared us? Wherefore do we deal treacherously each against his brother, to pollute the covenant of our fathers? Dealt treacherously hath Judah, the Jews. Keep this in mind. Judah had two wives, and I keep saying that. And abomination hath been done in Israel and in Jerusalem, for polluted hath Judah the holy thing of Yahweh. This is all about the abomination that maketh desolate. It's tying it all together. It's telling the priest, I'm going to put dung in your faces. And now, once you understand the polluted testimony of the priests, oh my goodness, we can see it now. that he loved and hath married the daughter of a strange god. Cut off doth Yahweh the man who doth it, tempter and tempted from the tents of Jacob, even he who is bringing nigh a present to Yahweh of hosts. And this a second time ye do, covering with tears the altar of Yahweh, with weeping and groaning, because there is no more turning unto the present, or receiving of a pleasant thing from your hand. And ye have said, Wherefore? Because Yahweh hath testified between thee and the wife of thy youth, that thou hast dealt treacherously against her, and she thy companion, and thy covenant wife. And he did not make one, and he hath the remnant of the Spirit. And what the one alone, he is seeking a godly seed, and he hath been watchful over your spirit, and with the wife of thy youth none doth deal treacherously. For I hate sending away, said Yahweh God of Israel, and he hath covered violence with his clothing, said Yahweh of hosts. And ye have been watchful over your spirit, and ye do not deal treacherously. Ye have wearied Yahweh of with your words, and ye have said, In what have we wearied him? In your saying, every evil doer good in the eyes of Yahweh, and in them he is delighting. Don't you hear the churches saying all the time, everybody's saved? When Moses was confronted by Korah, I think it was, and the thing Korah said was, everybody is saved. And what did Moses say? He pleaded with him not to say it. Then after that, Yahweh said, all right, set them aside. The ground opened up and swallowed them. Or, where the God of judgment? Yeah, they think that God is displaced and not around. God is here. Number 3, Lo, I am sending my messenger, and he hath prepared a way before me, and suddenly come in unto his temple doth the Lord, whom ye are seeking, even the messenger of the covenant, whom ye are desiring. Lo, he is coming, said Yahweh of hosts. And who is bearing the day of his coming? And who is standing in his appearing? For he, as a fire of a refiner, and a soap of a fuller, and he hath sat a refiner and a purifier of silver, and he hath purified the sons of Levi, and hath refined them as gold and as silver, and they have been to Yahweh bringing nigh a present in righteousness. You see, bringing in the righteousness of truth, that Jesus Christ is the Son of God and King of Israel. Remember, there were 2 thieves on the cross. There were 2 thieves on the cross. One thief said that he is an innocent man. The other thief said, you, in a sense, use your will to bring us down from the cross. Everybody was tempting Jesus to come down from the cross, the Jews. If thou be King of the Jews, come down from the cross. If thou be King of Israel, come down from the cross. Because the cross is where God separates the light and from the darkness. That's the separation. That's what the cross is. It is where there is no more hiding now. And that's why the ones on the left hand are going to be in the darkness. That's why unto today the Jews don't see Jesus. They don't. And they even have a lot of bad things to say about him, just like they did the whole time when Jesus was in the 4 Gospels, all his interactions with them. Okay. And sweet to Yahweh hath been the present of Judah and Jerusalem. What part of Judah? Through Tamar. Why Tamar? Because she was hidden from Judah, because Judah kept on going after, harlots. So Tamar had to dress like a harlot, and she had the staff, the ribbon, and the staff, ribbon, and the seal. And that means that she presented that after it was revealed who she was, as in the days of old, as in the former years. And I have drawn near to you for judgment, and I have been a witness making haste against sorcerers, and against adulterers, and against swearers to a falsehood. These priests are swearing to a falsehood, And what they're doing is they're keeping this person who is God Elohim in prison by saying Jesus is the King of the Jews. This is the abomination that maketh desolate. Making haste against sorcerers and against adulterers and against swearers to a falsehood and against oppressors of the hire and of a hireling, of a widow and of a fatherless one, and those turning aside as a sojourner. And you and who fear me not, said Yahweh of hosts. For I, Yahweh, I have not changed, and ye, the sons of Jacob, ye have not been consumed. Even from the days of your fathers, ye have turned aside from my statutes, and ye have not taken heed. Turn back unto me, and I turn back to you, said Yahweh of hosts. And ye have said, in what do we turn back? Doth man deceive God? Isn't that interesting? But ye are deceiving me. And ye have said, in what have we deceived thee? The tithe and the heave offering. With a curse ye are cursed, and me ye are deceiving. This nation, all of it, bring in all the tithe unto the treasure house, and there is food in my house, when ye have tried me. Now, what do everybody, the stumbling block? Jesus was a stumbling block to the Jews because because the Jews are liars, and to the Greeks, it's the wisdom of God is foolishness, and that's the stumbling block. Why? Because the wisdom of the Greeks is, look, if you have to lie to get ahead or do this, yeah, sure, let's do it. That's the wisdom of the world, and that is foolishness according to God. That's why sometimes we do things in our everyday life. We swallow the truth and then tell a lie, and that truth inside us is going to give us delusion later. Just look at the Jews. They are the embodiment of being in the darkness, and right now they're controlling everything, but God's about to pull the rug out from under everybody right now. When this gets out about the abomination that maketh desolate, is that they're teaching this lie and fabrication, then that's going to depower all the darkness that has been destroying the world. Some people talk about 5G, they talk about the government here, the government there. This is all part of the deception. If you believe light is darkness, then you're going to be deceived in everything in your life. And that's the bottom line. The point is, the Lord thy God in light and truth. We have to be in truth. How many times we read truth in very important places in the Bible? Tried me, said Yahweh of hosts. Do not I open to you the windows of heaven? Yea, I have emptied on you a blessing till there is no space. And I have pushed for you against the consumer. And he doth not destroy to you the fruit of the ground, nor miscarry to you doth the vine of the field, said Yahweh of hosts. And declared you happy have all nations, for ye are a delightful land, said Yahweh of hosts. Hard against me have been your words, said Yahweh. And ye have said, what have we spoken against thee? Ye have said, a vain thing to serve God. To serve God is to speak truth. And what gain when he kept his charge? And when we have gone in black because of Yahweh of hosts, and now we are declaring the proud happy, yea, built up have been those doing wickedness. Look at the world right now. This is the same place, built up. If you tell the truth, you're demonized. If you tell a lie, you're given an Oscar. The best liars in the planet get Oscars, and they're the spokespersons for corporations, governments. When they want someone to talk about something, they bring out the best liar. Even the Matrix said it in the movie. He wanted to be somebody important. He wanted to be an actor. Yea, they have tempted God and escape. They have those fearing Yahweh spoken one to another, and Yahweh doth attend and hear. And written is a book of memorial before him of those fearing Yahweh, and the and those esteeming his name. And they have been to me, said Yahweh of hosts, in the day that I am appointing a peculiar treasure, and I have had pity on them, as one had pity on his son who is serving him, serving the truth. And ye have turned back and considered between the righteous and the wicked, between the servant of God and him who is not his servant. The true witness of God, Jesus the Christ, King of Israel, Son of God. For lo, the day hath come, burning as a furnace, and all the proud and every wicked doer have been stubble, and burnt hath the day that came, said Yahweh of hosts, that there is not left to them root or branch. Notice this is first about them being burnt, similar to the wheat and the darnel. The darnel was collected first. And why for us to see this is because we get to see the vessels of wrath. Seeing the abomination that maketh desolate gives us the ability to see the vessels of wrath. Now, and risen to you, ye who fear my name, hath the Son of righteousness. And analogous, the sun. Which sun? The sun that we could see with the light. They got the fire and the heat. We're going to get the light and healing in its wings. And ye have gone forth and have increased as calves of a stall, and ye have trodden down the wicked, for they are ashes under the soles of your feet in the day that I'm appointing, said Yahweh of hosts. Remember ye the law of Moses, my servant, that I did command him in Horeb. For all Israel's statutes and judgments, lo, I am sending to you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the day of Yahweh, the great and the fearful. And he hath turned back the heart of the fathers to sons, and the heart of the sons to their fathers, before I come and have utterly smitten the land. We are here again. This is where we are. To turning back the fathers to the son is when now we're not saying that Jesus is King of the Jews. We're saying Jesus is King of Israel, Son of God. And if we look at, and this is so amazing that even if you go to Jude, which is just before, no, we're just going to go to the book of Jude. Oh, I think I got just 1 minute. All right, so when we go to Jude, all right, let's go there. 7. Okay, now look at this. In like manner, nevertheless, those dreaming also the flesh indeed do defile, and lordship they put away. By saying Jesus is King of Jews, they're putting away the lordship, and dignities they speak evil of. Yet Michael, the chief messenger, when with the devil, the Jews, contending, he was disputing about the body of Moses, and dare not bring up an evil-speaking judgment, but said, now, watch this now, the Lord rebuke thee. What did it say? The voice from heaven, my beloved son, hear ye him. He is going to put a weight on them. He is the one that is going to be bringing them down when they're trying to go up. That's why when people are trying to talk about, well, you know, the Old Testament said this or that said that. Well, what did Jesus say? He is going to put a weight on them, on those darnel thinking that they're going to be in the light. It's not going to happen. Just like you saw in Nineveh. What did they do? The king fell to the ground. But they're not going to do that again. They're not going to do what happened in Nineveh. They're going to stay in the same place that they are. So again, the cross is where Jesus brings up with the will those of light and pushes down the ones in the darkness. And again, Jesus is the Son of God, King of Israel, not King of the Jews. But they imputed that upon him. Hope this was helpful. I didn't tackle every single part of every verse, but again, you know, God reveals things as it goes. And yeah, it was Korah. Oh, let me read this first. These are in your love feast, craggy rocks and Jude again, feasting together with you, fearing, shepherding themselves, clouds without water. Korah did, what did Korah do? Because in the way of Cain they did go, and on the seat of Balaam for reward they did rush, and the gainsaying of Korah. Everybody